On the issue, we're joined by Kensington. She's a senior airman of the Air Force who transitioned to female after leaving active duty. And before we get your reaction, I'm just curious, tell us about your service, what it was like, and the secret that you held throughout.
So I discovered that there was an issue with my gender identity when I was a child, and it was something that I really just sort of tried to run away from for a number of years. And basically, I thought to myself that I could never tell anyone. And when 9/11 happened, I was 18 years old, and by nightfall I had decided that I was going to be leaving university and enlisting in the defense of our nation. As an immigrant, this is something that was really, really important to me. We came here from Greece when I was 3, and it's America has been amazing to my family, so I wanted to repay its kindness. So I enlisted in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, and before I knew it, I was preparing for the invasion of Iraq.
Talk to us about what it was like serving, knowing who your true self was, and knowing that you had to hide this because you were serving under the military's previous policy that banned LGBT troops.
That's correct. It was one of those things where at the time I really tried to hold on to the military's core value of service before self. And I thought to myself that it was really important to engage in that service and to defend my country. At that time, we were dealing with the aftermath of those terrorist attacks, and I really sort of embodied that sense of serving before thinking about myself.
Are you angry after the tweets came out this week?
I would say I'm more disappointed, and I feel a lot of dismay. I think that according to some estimates, there are 15,000 active duty transgender soldiers in the military right now. And these are people who really upheld the courage of their convictions and decided to serve their country, and all of a sudden they're being told that they're not good enough.
Okay, you heard the president's reasoning for this ban, the cost, and saying that it is a distraction. Do you believe that those are legitimate reasons for implementing such a ban?
Well, let me break that down twofold. First would be the cost. So in 2016, the Department of Defense actually commissioned a study through the National Security Research Division of the RAND Corporation. And their findings were that it would cost between $2.5 and $8.5 million a year to treat transgender soldiers in the military. And, we can contrast that with the fact that the Washington Post stated that it's cost about $15 million for President Trump to go to Mar-a-Lago as often as he has in 6 months. So when you think about the cost, it's quite small. And when you think about the $6.7 billion medical budget of the military, it's infinitesimally small.
Well, you're out of the military now, right?
Yes.
How do you feel about those that are transgender, that are in the military, and have you contacted anyone? Do you know of anyone?
I do have some friends who are going through that right now, and my heart goes out to them because these are people who took a solemn oath and tried to uphold the time-honored tradition of service, and they're being told that, their future is in jeopardy. And I think that that's, you can't really make America great again by attacking service members.
How do you think this might work? Would a transgender person be dishonorably discharged, and could that potentially affect, their future and their VA benefits?
So a dishonorable discharge would be basically like having a felony on your record where you would no longer be able to actually utilize the full scope of benefits that veterans get. Like for example, I was able to attend a university through the GI Bill, and the GI Bill would not be available to people who have had a dishonorable discharge. My house that I purchased was through the VA Home Loan Program. That wouldn't be available to people with a dishonorable discharge. So my sincere hope is that that's not what would happen, but it is a possibility, and it's one that my friends are afraid of.
A lot of equality, made a lot of strides in the LGBTQ community. How big a blow is this?
I would say it's a pretty significant blow because it's really attacking the people who defend our nation. And I think that it's disappointing that people who would put their lives on the line are being treated as if they're just not good enough.